jump right into the memes.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Tom Dark channel. I'm your host, Tom Dark. VTubers. We all know who they are, we know what they are. You may even watch a few of them. It's a style of content which has become wildly popular in the last 3 years or so, to the point that they are now some of the biggest creators online. Little animated anime girls paired with motion capture technology is all the rage. Much like my raging boner.
I'm gonna come.
And recently, the community has really had its biggest controversy yet regarding Nux Taku, a YouTuber and VTuber, VShojo, which is a talent agency, and some of the people employed by VShojo. The story is one involving hacking, it involves doxing, it has accusations of clout chasing, and it's pretty intense, alright? The stakes are real high. I'm not a huge fan of VTubers myself, but you know, I am a fan of anime cat girls from time to time, and I'm also a fan of good stories. I can't promise this one will make you feel good, but it will definitely entertain you. So grab a monster, do a line of G Fuel, and let's jump into it. Nux Taku is a YouTuber and streamer. He's got more than 2 million subscribers, and his videos and content really revolve around interacting with other people and reacting to different things.
So in this video, I go to streamers while they're streaming. I donate 100 bits and I say, I'll send another, I don't know, $100 or whatever I decide at the time.
VShojo, meanwhile, is a huge company in terms of their influence. Some of the names of personalities that work with them are Project Melody, Zentreya, Silverveil, and Iron Mouse. All of these virtual anime girls have huge audiences. They make lots of money from ads and sponsorships and donations. There's a lot of business here. And there's also some doxing, some swatting, and some unfortunate tomfoolery. All of this really starts with a few particular individuals who have, according to Nux and the entire VTuber community, been going around and pretending to be VShojo. They pretend to represent this talent agency, and with that mask that they put on, they've been trying to compromise the information and identities of anonymous VTubers. Obviously, this is bad because people who have their identities private don't want that out there. Not only does it create a disconnect between who the audience sees as the person behind this, VTuber avatar, but there are also a lot of privacy concerns, right? You don't want people to know your name, your face. Some people just choose to remain anonymous online. Nux himself decided to post a video about this topic titled, "How We Caught a Swatter That Doxed 12 VTubers, including myself."
This is not a video that I want to make because I want to. In fact, I literally just called someone saying, hey, I really don't want to record this video. And he basically told me, yes, I have to, because this is one of those for the greater good kind of videos that I'm gonna have to sit y'all down and listen to the tale, maybe save a couple of people, tell you how I flexed on an individual that tried to, ruin the lives of many of my friends, and talk about a very massive issue that exists.
And the audience's reception of this video was mostly positive, in fact. It's a very interesting subject, he tells a good story, there's some drama, there's some investigation involved, and as Nux says, the video is basically gloating about catching some nefarious individuals, right? He wants to be proud of the fact that, hey, I got these guys. VShojo themselves said thank you, Nux, for working with us publicly on Twitter, and they also said that they'd added their own response here to the events. So they publicly co-signed this video. They said they liked it, they said thank you, Nux, we're glad you made it. Here's a little bit of elaboration. However, there were some people who did not like this video at all, and that would be some of the VShojo girls themselves, the talent. There was a lot of negative responses to what Nux said, many of which were made public. Nux got himself into some really hot water, and in particular, one very long Discord post was made by a VTuber by the name of Neanners, who has just shy of 700,000 followers on Twitch, a very influential figure. In this long Discord post, she said the following: "Whether or not any of the information he gathered helped or not is beside the point, as releasing a video like he did about a very sensitive and potentially dangerous situation that involves me and many of my friends only draws unneeded attention to it for some quick views, when if a video were to be made about this at all, it should have been handled with a lot more care and consideration. But for someone like Nux, who has consistently used my friends for clickbait views and has done things like try and bait my friend into watching the Logan Paul Forest video on stream, and secretly recorded a private call with another one of my friends without permission, and then proceeded to use said call to make a video, it's clear that our safety and feelings are not the priority." So definitely a very charged message message in every way. Not only does she accuse Nux of doing some nefarious trolling, right? Something that could get someone some consequences if they had it on stream, but she also says that he's like a liar, he's a clout chaser. This really is a screw Nux post, right? Get away from him, he's a bad guy. And this entire post, as I said, was in private. I haven't even mentioned the Twitter replies yet. I am still beyond disappointed. The girls begged for days to have it removed out of fear for their safety, and it truly boggles my mind how you could put your own video over your friends' feelings when they are directly involved. I'm so hurt that you are doing this, when you fully know what was truly going on. When we asked you to take it down, we told you we feared for our safety, and you didn't care. You've done a lot more harm than good, despite your good intentions, and in the end, you were clout chasing. Not only that, you may have lost some friends and their respect. So a lot of people went after Nux, and he felt the need to respond, and I guess, he wanted to clear the air, he wanted to clear a few things up. But even so, even with this response, a lot of people were looking at him like he was a very manipulative person.
Okay, and what I feel is happening from this situation so far seems to be very, very strong miscommunication combined with what feels like a little bit of something smelly, maybe some kind of manipulation. I don't know. Something's not connecting, and I'm waiting for all the information to come out, because after you watch this video that Nux made said regarding the situation, things aren't adding up. Things aren't making sense. But what we do know is that a lot of people jumped the gun and started trying to cancel Nux before he could actually explain himself fully, because they were going in on him, everybody on the internet.
Throughout this entire situation, there seemed to be something missing. A lot of people felt that there was some missing puzzle piece. Nux is a massive YouTuber. He's had countless interactions with fellow VTubers and personalities. Wouldn't he have some knowledge of how this could go? Could he be so stupid as to publish a video despite everyone telling him not to? Even if he was a malicious actor, and like Neanders claimed he was using this for clout, he had to have foreseen the actual call out, right? He had to have foreseen that this eventual call out would happen and would be way more detrimental than whatever money or promotion he would get off of this one video. It just doesn't add up. Well, things were about to change for this story, real quick.
And I'll include. Just a pause, by the way, this is kind of weird as well, because from what I understand, I mean, from what I read earlier, the VShojo announcement, the topics, it seemed like VShojo was like, they don't endorse, and he don't endorse it. They kept saying that they don't endorse, kind of like separating from it. So but here it seems like it was a collab.
Eventually, DMs were released that seemed to indicate Nux had full approval from VShojo, and that there were some real inconsistencies with what the girls were saying. It appeared that they either unknowingly spoke about the issue without having the full picture, or that some involved had maliciously tried to smear him. The CEO of VShojo, Gunrun, eventually responded with an official statement on the matter, titled Addressing Miscommunications. This document will go through major misconceptions about Nux's now deleted video, and his replies and apologies. Allegation: people were still in danger of phishing attacks from VShojo.org. For the unaware, a phish is basically sending someone a link with the intention of grabbing their IP, which can then be used to get their location. You send someone a link that you claim is to something, normal or benevolent, and it turns out that it's actually grabbing their IP to find out where they are. Our cybersecurity team was able to work with law enforcement to obtain the target list from the threat actor. This list confirmed that only 2 phishing attempts were made, one to Nux and the other to Saki. Gunrun then gives a timeline breakdown of events, beginning with this hacker creating fake emails from VShojo, and then using the domain vshojo.org to target individuals through email. Nux and Saki got this email, and once Nux got it, he decided to reach out to VShojo's CEO, and it was confirmed as fake. It was not from VShojo. At the same time, they also conducted an investigation and sent Nux a message basically warning him about the implications of making a video like this. VShojo themselves also say that Nux did not heed their words of advice. How would this make sense? The other DMs seem to indicate that someone that worked for VShojo, someone who was sent specifically to talk to Nux, approved of the video, or at the least was indifferent. On November 1st, Nux made a tweet suggesting that he will be releasing a video covering the situation. VShojo enlisted their cybersecurity expert to run communications with him, and he then makes efforts to educate Nux on why this would be a bad move. This was ignored, as were the edits that they suggested. And as I said, Gunrun claims they never endorsed the video, which would seem weird. In addition to the DMs, they sent a public thank you message, which appeared to be a direct endorsement. VShojo claims this was just being polite, being nice to him to calm the situation, while trying to also communicate that they don't want the video up, but that doesn't reflect the DMs at all. Most people didn't buy it. I didn't buy it. Things didn't add up. This specific message really is the one that makes me think that Nux had no way of knowing not to post this video. Their cybersecurity staff member says to him, "I am not saying this as a criticism of whether or not you should do a video. That is entirely within your right to do so as a victim, and we don't have a problem with that." The guy said, "We don't have a problem with that." Meanwhile, in this post, they say, VShojo never at any point said that he had permission, nor were we asked. Does this make sense? Or does it make you go cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs? Just a little bit. Because, yeah, it drives me up a fucking wall. To anyone reading this DM, they must have seen it as at least indifference to him making the video, and they framed their statement to the public, as I said, as a cosign. There were still a lot of unanswered questions to the drama. Why was there such clear miscommunication between VShojo and Nux? Why did they contradict themselves afterwards? Why did the girls feel so hurt, despite the fact that it seemed Nux was given approval to post the video by their boss? To be fair, Nux did go out of his way to apologize for not removing it sooner, but if that's his worst crime, why is anyone that mad? And where are the answers to these questions? Unfortunately, we may not get them. Unfortunately for those interested, this drama ended kind of abruptly. It seems that for now, Nux has reached a point where he no longer wants to perpetuate the situation or even try to defend himself. He posted a video on November 29th titled "Moving Forward," where he said that he wants to move forward with the entire thing and move past the drama.
And if for a period of 24 hours when I got mega canceled by lots of massive creators, I thought I was a goner. If you're not up to date with the drama, you're lucky, because it was extremely ugly to the point that I didn't eat or sleep for days, but I am glad we're at a point that I think it is behind us. I spoke to almost everyone involved privately, and apologies were exchanged. I don't want to bring this up more because at this point, it already became much more of a spectacle than anyone wanted, and de-escalation is my top priority here.
That means that, unfortunately, for all of those who want to know all of the inside and outside details so that they can make videos to profit off of the situation, it seems he's not interested in giving any more info out, and he just wants it to be over. I am honestly of the opinion that intentionally or unintentionally, Nux was kind of screwed. Was he eager to make the video? Yes. Did he want to profit off of the situation? A little, yeah. But what YouTuber doesn't? That's why we make videos. And from the DMs that I've read, I honestly see no indication that he acted maliciously or to his own benefit, whilst also knowing that he would be hurting others in the process. I would personally, since I fucked up publicly, feel the need to apologize to you for my part in this and inciting people as well during the situation. As you stated, I do not condone hate mobs at all and wish to move forward on peaceful terms. I am sorry. So some people made apologies, and it seems like everyone is kind of ready to just, push past it, which I understand, but like I said, I still have fucking questions. One side is okay with just moving on, and they're glad that the drama is over, while others, like me, they want to inquire. They want to be like, what the fuck happened? How could this go so wrong? I'm not a fan of how this is ending. I don't mind moving on, but I don't approve of the basic apologies as a resolution. I believe there should be consequences to the actions of VShojo and the girls. Nux suffered his consequences, and so should they. It's called accountability. Just to further explain, however Nux wants to handle his relationship with VShojo is up to him, even if I don't agree. But they, as a company, need to do at least two things. 1. Formally apologize to Nux the right way. 2. Remove or fire their cybersecurity expert. Now, I don't know if the girls need to face consequences or anything. They seem to just be acting on emotion, but VShojo themselves are somewhat guilty. This guy then goes on to say, I am very adamant about the last one, because as someone who has worked in IT and cybersecurity, this guy, meaning their cybersecurity expert, ignored basic guidelines and protocols that resulted in damaging people's image, brands, companies, and friendships, and that is inexcusable. But Nux won't be getting that formal apology. Maybe the cybersecurity expert will be fired. If he is, then I doubt we'll hear about it immediately, at least. These things do tend to slip out through gossip eventually, but we're not going to know right now. Instead of making the drama bigger and creating a big flame war around it, Nux decided to just opt out. He was like, I'm done. That's it. I'm out. And I don't necessarily blame him for it. You don't want to get completely wrapped up in something like this. I personally, in his position, I may have wanted a little more blood. But hey, when you go through something like this, sometimes you have to cut your losses while everyone else is willing to do the same. So, it's over. Criticisms of VShojo as a company are as warranted as ever, but I don't think this will be in the public eye in the way it has been for the last 2 weeks or so. As for why there was such terrible fucking miscommunication is mind-blowing to me. How they managed to fuck Nux so bad is also mind-boggling personally. It almost feels like someone tried to screw him with how bad it all went. But the answers are not going to come out for now.
I already feel like this is complete bullshit. And you know why? VShojo literally states in their official statement that there's one threat actor at the very beginning. But then literally seconds later throughout the entire statement, hint that there might be more. Well, which is it, VShojo? However, the one thing that VShojo fails to mention is the fact that they also never say no to him. They don't endorse the video, but they don't deny the video either. This is why I think nobody should be angry at Nux. It's not like anybody actually told him, please don't post this.
I'm not a massive fan of Nux, more of a passive fan, but I'm glad he came out of the situation in one piece and is not going to be smited by the Twitter gods. Hopefully, his future opportunities go well, and something like this never happens again. If all of you VTuber fucking freaks liked the video, then be sure to leave a like, and if you disliked it, leave a dislike. Leave a comment down below with your thoughts on the situation, and I will see all of you Tom Darkers in the next video. I haven't really decided if that name is cringe yet. Still in the incubation period, in the waiting period, but I'll figure it out eventually.
Just broke up with Nux. We're no strangers to love. He knew the rules and so did I. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? No way it took the third sentence for me to figure out what you were doing. I hate my life. No way. Wow, get wrecked, fish. Shut up, Nux.
Anyway, stay based. Bye.